Hello changemakers, welcome to Climate Action with David Allgreen Live. This special video is to celebrate the strength and dignity of women in the face of daunting challenges regarding climate change. And I choose to challenge all women to see climate change as a women's human right. It is now beyond dispute that climate change caused by human activity has negative impacts on the full enjoyment of human rights. Climate change has profound impacts on a wide variety of human rights, including the rights to life, self-determination, development, food, health, water and sanitation, and housing. Men, women, girls, and boys are affected differently by climate change and disasters, with many women and girls experiencing greater risks, burdens, and impacts. As a result of limited control women have over decisions governing their lives, they are more likely to be exposed to disaster-induced risks and losses related to their livelihoods, and they are less able to adapt to changes in climatic conditions. Women and girls have higher levels of mortality in situations of disaster. Gender-based inequality means that women are more vulnerable to the impact of climate-related events such as floods, storms, avalanches, earthquakes, landslides, and other hazards. The failure to engage in gender-responsive disaster planning and implementation means that protective facilities and infrastructures such as early warning mechanisms, shelters, and relief programs have frequently neglected the specific accessibility needs of diverse groups of women, including women with disabilities, older women, and indigenous women. The categorization of women and girls as passive vulnerable groups in need of protection from the impact of disasters is a negative gender stereotype that fails to recognize the important contributions to disaster risk reduction, post-disaster management, and climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies that women are already making. The United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women has pronounced that gender equality is a precondition for the realization of sustainable development goals. It states that situations of crisis exacerbate the existing gender inequalities and compound the intersecting forms of discrimination. The committee recommends that parties should ensure that all policies, legislation, plans, programs, budgets, and other activities are grounded in human rights-based principles, including equality and non-discrimination, without priority being accorded to the most marginalized groups of women and girls. This will go a long way in addressing discrimination in relation to the ownership, access, use, disposal, and inheritance of property, land, natural resources, and other barriers impeding the exercise by women of their full legal capacity and autonomy in relation to freedom of movement, equal access to economic, social, and cultural rights. On a final note, I chose to challenge all women to take climate action seriously. Rise up and take up spaces in governance to get your voices heard. My name is David Allgreen, asking every woman to get busy. I know you can do it.